So if you are an ambitious aesthetic medicine practitioner,
Yeah.
you know the feeling. You didn't spend a decade mastering injectables, poring over regenerative science, and refining your technique just to constantly worry that you're interchangeable with the clinic down the street.
Right.
That feeling of being a commodity is, well, frankly, it's exhausting.
It is exhausting. And you know what? It's expensive. That frustration is the direct result of what we call the transactional model.
Okay, the transactional model.
Yeah, the patient books, they get the treatment, they pay the bill, and then poof, they vanish.
Until next year, right?
Maybe. And the practice is just stuck in this continuous, brutal cycle of hemorrhaging its marketing budget, just trying to acquire new leads.
You're just running in place.
It's the definition of running in place.
So our mission today in this deep dive is to figure out how to break that cycle, how to build what our source material calls a beauty empire.
I love that term.
We are examining the exact blueprint laid out by Dr. Ari Masudi in his masterclass. He's a fascinating guy, a former researcher in regenerative medicine who pivoted.
Pivoted his analytical skills to become a top business consultant for the aesthetics industry.
Yeah.
And Dr. Masudi's core insight is really a philosophical shift. He challenges the entire premise of running a standard clinic. He asks, what if you built a movement instead of just a practice?
A movement.
Yeah, a brand where patients don't just book appointments, they become proud adherents, carrying your logo, defending you online, and essentially becoming these enthusiastic walking billboards.
That sounds like a fantasy, though, like something for massive lifestyle brands, not a medical practice. I mean, how can you reliably create that level of devotion?
Well, because the loyalty you see in those massive communities, the people who buy the same phone every year or wear the same clothing brand, it's not accidental. It's manufactured by applying very specific community building principles. Dr. Masudi argues that in the aesthetics field, the shift from, transactional healthcare marketing to modern brand loyalty, it creates a predictable outcome.
A predictable outcome of massive retention and organic growth.
Yes, it's about being intentional.
Okay, so let's unpack that intention. Let's start with what Dr. Masudi identifies as the single most expensive and ineffective mistake that most practices make.
Which is
Treating all patients equally.
That's the crux of it. The source material, it just hits you immediately with a hard statistical truth.
And what is that?
Your top 1% of patients are financially worth more than the other 99% combined.
Wow. More than the other 99%.
Combined, they're not just booking frequently. They're your defenders, your organic marketers, and they almost always pay premium prices.
Okay, wait, that feels counterintuitive.
Yeah.
If we focus all our energy on the top 1%, doesn't that risk alienating the vast majority of our clientele? I mean, how do you manage that perception?
That's a great question, and it's where most practices fail. The key is in the statistic. Right now, 59% of practice managers prioritize new patient acquisition over retention.
So they're going after new people.
They are spending money trying to win over the coldest, least valuable leads while letting the most valuable 1% feel like they're just another booking on the schedule.
Right.
Dr. Masudi's point is that by showering that 1% with genuine non-monetary recognition, they feel seen, they feel cherished, and they, in turn, become advocates who bring in more ideal patients.
So we really need to redefine who these 1%ers are. It's not just about who spends the most money, is it?
No, it's about lifetime value and engagement. The 1%ers are those who generate 5-10 times more value than the average patient.
Okay, so what does that look like?
They book treatments 3 or more times per year. They refer 2 or more new patients annually without being asked.
Without being asked, that's key.
They leave detailed reviews unprompted, and critically, they request you specifically, not just the next available provider.
They are loyal to the doctor and the brand, not the location.
Exactly.
So the first absolutely actionable step for you this week is simple. Pull the data. Segment your database by those engagement metrics, booking frequency, number of referrals, and identify your top 50 most engaged patients.
And that's your VIP list.
That's your VIP list.
And once you have that list, the critical phase begins. The high-impact, low-cost VIP treatment. I mean, think about the Beverly Hills dermatologist Dr. Masudi references. She identified her 30 most loyal acne patients and created something called the Clear Skin Collective.
Which was a private WhatsApp group. That sounds incredibly simple.
So simple. It cost her virtually zero to manage, but the return was staggering.
Okay.
Those 30 patients, just because they felt recognized and connected, generated 47 new patient referrals in 12 months.
47 referrals.
Which means she achieved a massive 40% reduction in her patient acquisition cost just by creating a chat group.
Wow. So that loyalty translates directly into tangible revenue savings.
Correct.
It's not about expensive gifts. It's about recognition and, well, ease of access.
Exactly. Or look at the London cosmetic injector. She sends sends handwritten Botox birthday anniversary cards 1 year after the patient's first treatment.
A Botox birthday, I like.
Right. And the card doesn't just offer some generic discount. It includes a complimentary 45-pound skincare product, and crucially, it references specific details from their last consultation.
Like what?
Something like, hope you are still enjoying your forehead results from May. That personal touch. It drives retention among recipients up to 92%.
92%. And the practice-wide average is?
70%. It's a huge difference.
The lesson there is just so clear. Signal that they're not just a transaction number. And Dr. Masudi is adamant that you have to stop sending generic email blasts to everyone. But the most egregious mistake,
I know where you're going with this.
offering better deals to new patients than to your loyal ones.
It sends a message that loyalty is worthless, that the only way to get a good deal is to be a new customer.
It rewards churn.
It rewards churn. And he makes the case that if less than 15% of your marketing budget is dedicated to nurturing your existing top 1%, you are actively undermining your own future growth. You are essentially paying people to be disloyal.
So we've identified who they are, but where do we put them? Social media feels too temporary, too noisy.
It is.
The deep dive really emphasizes creating a dedicated, exclusive community space.
That's right. Social media is rented land.
Right.
You don't control the algorithm or the audience.
Right.
And email is passive. You need a space that offers identity and connection, not just medical care. Humans have this fundamental need for belonging. And when you can offer that connection to a group of people with the same goals, that community becomes fiercely protective of the brand that created it.
This reminds me of the Toronto plastic surgeon who launched the Transformation Circle.
Yes, that was a private online community for her body contouring patients. It was hidden from search engines. The exclusivity was part of the appeal.
So people felt safe.
Totally safe. They were sharing progress photos, asking deeply personal questions, offering real emotional support, things they would never do on public Instagram.
And what was the measurable business impact of creating that safe environment?
Oh, massive. 50% of her new body contouring bookings now come directly from Circle member referrals.
50%.
And on top of that, members spend 60% more annually on complimentary treatments, skincare, minor maintenance, because they trust the brand and feel integrated.
And she used a free platform tier, right?
A free tier, it proves you don't need a huge investment, you just need intentional structure.
So Dr. Masudi provides a concrete 7-day launch blueprint for this. Let's walk through that because it's a sprint, not a marathon.
It is about swift, intentional execution. Day 1 and 2, choose your platform. And Dr. Masudi stresses, avoid Facebook groups. Because Facebook just screams mass market, not luxury and exclusivity. You should be looking at platforms like WhatsApp or Circle.so or Mighty Networks. They just feel more curated.
Okay, and on day 3?
You define your selective membership criteria. This community has to earn its exclusivity. It can't be a free-for-all.
So the criteria could be?
Must have completed a specific procedure, or maybe must have been a patient for over a year. The perceived scarcity is what drives the value.
Right. Then days 4 and 5 are about seeding content. You need 5 to 7 pieces in there before anyone is invited.
Yes, you cannot invite people to an empty room.
Then day 6 is critical, and this is where I think a lot of people would trip up. You must send personalized individual invitations, not a mass email blast.
You call or text your top 30 patients and you frame it as, we're launching something special only for our most valued clients and we need your input.
But why is the personalized invite so vital? I mean, isn't a mass email just faster?
It is faster, but it destroys the perception of exclusivity. If they know everyone got the invite, the value drops to 0.
Right. A personalized invite reinforces that VIP status we talked about.
Exactly. And finally, day 7. Host a 30-minute launch event or live video within the community to share the vision and make everyone feel like an insider.
That model clearly works. I mean, the Miami Clinic's Radiance Collective for their lip filler patients.
Yeah.
Members there spend an average of $8,400 annually versus $3,200 for non-members.
That spending gap alone.
It justifies the 7-day effort, easily.
It absolutely does.
Okay, moving on, and this is where it gets really interesting for me. Identity and symbols. The idea that generic language creates generic loyalty. If you want a movement, you need a specific identity to create that.
Yeah.
That fanatic devotion.
Yes, the psychological shift that happens when you name the community is just profound. They move from, I'm a patient at Dr. Smith's clinic to, I'm part of the Glow Squad.
Or the Transformation Tribe.
Right. They aren't just consumers of a service anymore. They belong to a recognizable group with a shared purpose.
And then you make that loyalty tangible through symbols.
Yeah.
We're talking about branded items offered at cost.
Exactly. The Nashville dermatologist with her Clear Crew logo, she offers branded hoodies and tote bags. Patients buy them willingly, they wear them to appointments, and they become unpaid, walking advertisers. It generates an estimated 200+ organic Instagram impressions a month.
Just from the merch.
Just from the merch. And it's not just about merchandise, it's about signaling insider status. The Australian cosmetic physician who gave custom lapel pins to her founder's circle, she saw 3 patients get that pin tattooed into custom jewelry.
Wait, tattooed into jewelry?
Yes, you cannot pay for that level of brand advocacy. That only happens when the brand becomes integral to the patient's identity.
Wow. Okay, so that level of devotion demands a total overhaul of your marketing messaging.
A complete overhaul.
Dr. Masudi advises flipping the script entirely.
Yeah.
Stop making marketing about your technique, your tech, or your expertise. Flip it.
And make the patients the stars.
Make them the hero of the story.
This is so crucial. Recognition is the new currency. It is far more valuable than discounts. Patients who feel seen become evangelists, whereas patients who only seek discounts will leave the moment someone offers them 5% cheaper down the street.
You're building emotional equity, not just financial transactions.
Precisely. A perfect illustration of this is the Dubai-based facial plastic surgeon. She runs a patient of the month on Instagram, but she doesn't focus on the surgical details. She focuses on the patient's journey, their fears, their feelings, their own words.
And the impact.
The measurable impact is phenomenal. These story-focused posts get 4 times more engagement than a standard clinical before and after photo.
4 times.
And more importantly, the surgeon gets 3 to 5 consultation requests per featured patient, with people specifically referencing that patient story.
That's word of mouth amplified by social media.
Exactly.
So what are some other, specific high-leverage tactics for spotlighting these patient heroes?
Well, beyond patient of the month, you could do Transformation Tuesday takeovers, where a loyal patient runs your Instagram stories for a day.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Or, in your physical space, establish a hall of confidence, a beautiful wall in the waiting room with patient stories and photos. New patients will inevitably photograph it and share it.
It turns waiting time into social proof. Let's move to section 4, because this is the strategic foundation. Every successful practice promises great results.
Yeah.
That's table stakes.
Right. It's the minimum entry requirement.
So the deep dive urges you to define what you stand for, because patients are increasingly choosing providers based on values alignment, not just procedure cost.
This is where you create defensibility. What non-negotiables define your practice? Look at the Portland dermatologist Dr. Masudi discusses. She built her entire brand around evidence-based, no-pressure aesthetics.
So it's not just a tagline.
No, she explicitly refuses to overfill lips or provide overly aggressive, trendy treatments that conflict with her philosophy.
That must be hard, strategically, to turn away revenue like that.
It's a difficult short-term decision, but it pays off in long-term loyalty. Her patient retention rate is 88%.
88% versus what? 60% for the industry average.
Exactly. This filtration process attracts ideal patients who are aligned with her specific defensible values.
Patients who will defend her against critics because she stands for something they also believe in.
Right. So values have to be specific, like we refuse to overfill lips beyond a 1 to 1.6 ratio, and so specific, you're willing to lose patients who don't align.
Absolutely. And once those values are defined, you have to reinforce them through predictable action.
You need to create rituals. One-time experiences are forgettable. Rituals become traditions. Humans crave that predictability.
And the power isn't in the complexity of the ritual, but just in the reliability, right?
Precisely. Look at the Chicago injector who runs Talk Stock Tuesday on Instagram Live every week at 7 p.m. She's done it for 94 consecutive weeks. Her patients block the time in their calendars. They invite friends. They trust her implicitly because of that absolute reliability.
Or the medical spa that sends a treatment anniversary package, a handwritten card, a sample.
Right, exactly. 1 year after the patient's first ever appointment. Their annual retention rate is 82% because they acknowledge the start of the relationship as a tradition.
And this feeds that VIP mentality we talked about.
It does. The injector who personally texts her top 30 patients when a new product arrives. You're one of my VIPs, so you get first access. That's a 30-second task that generates 8 to 12 immediate bookings a month. month because it reinforces that ritual of exclusive access.
So the lesson is, pick one repeatable action and stick to it religiously.
Yes.
Okay, that leads us right into the highest form of loyalty, which is co-creation. Dr. Masudi argues the most powerful marketing is created by patients when you just give them the tools and permission.
You're giving them ownership. Patients move from being customers to being genuine stakeholders.
Talk about giving them ownership. The Vancouver dermatologist who launched Skin School Saturdays.
Oh, this is brilliant.
The twist was that patients teach other patients.
Yeah, topics like my holy grail skincare routine. The attendees book treatments at 3 times the standard rate because they're learning from a trusted peer, not being sold to.
And it doesn't just have to be educational. You can involve them in the business itself.
Absolutely. The cosmetic physician who formed a 10-person patient advisory board to review treatment protocols and suggest improvements.
So smart.
Or the medical spa that let patients vote on which new treatment to add a You Design It campaign.
So they got, what, 47 pre-bookings from the voters?
47 pre-bookings because those voters felt genuine ownership in the decision. They are now emotionally and financially invested in the success of that new service.
So if we connect this all to the bigger picture, everything we've covered feeds what Dr. Masudi calls the loyalty flywheel.
Yes, the self-sustaining patient acquisition engine.
Let's walk through that acceleration loop.
Okay, it starts with an exceptional experience. That leads to recognition, the VIP events, the personal touches. That recognition funnels them into community integration and identity belonging to the transformation tribe.
Right.
That sense of belonging pushes them into active advocacy recruiting friends, defending the brand online, and that eventually leads to the highest step, co-creation.
Taking ownership and teaching others.
Exactly.
And the beauty of a flywheel is that the momentum just builds on itself. The more advocates you create, the faster the wheel spins.
And the less you need expensive paid acquisition.
The financial shift proves it, doesn't it?
It does. Dr. Masudi tracked successful practices that reallocated 20% of their marketing budget.
Money that was previously spent on Facebook ads or Google search.
Right. They moved it directly into recognition programs and community management, and they grew faster and more profitably.
So what does this all mean for you? Dr. Masudi's masterclass presents you with a stark binary choice. You can continue chasing new leads, competing on price and proximity, and, well, remaining a commodity provider.
Or you can choose to build a brand based on identity, ritual, and patient devotion. You commit to identifying your 1%ers this week, you launch that private community this month, and you start making your patients the hero of the story.
This raises an important question for you to mull over, to explore on your own. If you truly commit to turning your customers into crusaders, as the source suggests, do you believe you will genuinely own your local market, not just compete in it, within the next 24 months?
That is the ultimate test of building a movement.